Hey, how's everyone doing today? Hope everyone out there is doing great. I'm going to do a review now on Tyson Foods. Excuse me, I just ate some stuff in my goatee there. Anyway, Tyson Foods, this is going to sound weird, but I wouldn't work there again, not unless I had to. But money-wise, insurance-wise, they are number one company I've ever worked for. Okay, out of the companies I've worked for over the years, I made the most money with the best insurance at Tyson Foods. I rank them number one. I guess let me explain why I wouldn't work there again. Well, pretty honestly, I don't like nights. Straight up. I'm strictly a solar powered driver. I like running days. I'm old. Been around a long time. I don't like running nights. I ran nights when I was younger. Back in my younger days, it probably wouldn't have bothered me, but now, no. By 8 o'clock at night, I'm down and out. I'm usually parked by 6 in the evening. I used to take off about 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. So no, Tyson Foods doesn't fit me. It doesn't fit the way I like to run. I'll tell you the good and bad with Tyson Foods. The good is it's a lot of dropping hooks. When I say a lot of dropping hooks, I mean a lot of dropping hooks. You do a lot of chicken house to chicken house type stuff, so there's a lot of dropping hooks in there. I'm gonna tell you the bad about it. When you do live loads or live unloads, it sucks. Man, with Tyson, I did it in some of the worst parts of Chicago I'd ever been in my life. If you don't like running in the ghetto of Chicago, don't go to work for Tyson, because you will go there. Some of the hardest docks I ever hit was with Tyson Foods. Little mom and pop places, multi-stop loads, 6-7 drops. You will get them sometimes. It does happen there. The other thing I didn't like about Tyson Foods is they treat their drivers just like their factory workers. You fall under the same deal. For instance, I was running a load one time. The weather got bad. I shut down. I sent a message. Told them I'm shutting down. Weather was getting bad. It was winter time. I was up north somewhere. Well, the next day, my dispatcher calls me. And in a not straightforward way, in a roundabout way, he chews me out for not making that load on time because I shut down the night before. Not directly, because he can't, because of safety. But, I never hardly ever got home on time. I was usually a day late, day or two late. Another thing I didn't like about Tyson Foods is you have to park your truck at one of their chicken houses, the nearest one to your house or wherever you're taking your time off at. And then you go home from there. You can't take your truck home. Now, I did hear there were certain circumstances where they were allowing drivers to take their truck home, but it's case by case. You got to live a really long way from a chicken house. In most cases, though, they do not hire anybody that lives a long way from a chicken house. They're pretty particular about their hiring zones and where they hire from. You do a lot of East Coast driving with them. Let me think. What's something else that was bad about Tyson? Well, their showers. Most of their facilities didn't have showers, for drivers, but if they did, they weren't all that great. I did like the fact that all the chicken houses, or most of them, had cafeterias. So if I was waiting on a load to come out, I could go to the cafeteria. I didn't like getting up 2 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes you'll deliver a load. Let's say you hauled it into Olathe, Kansas, and you deliver it at that Tyson Foods there, and you deliver it 9 o'clock this morning. All right. Now, mind you, let's say you've been on days. You ran days to get there. All right. You're in all day the day before, and you got up at 6 o'clock in the morning. You're rented in there, delivered at 9 o'clock. So you're used to days. They're going to tell you, all right, here's your next load. Comes out 2 o'clock in the morning. So now you got to instantly swap from days to nights. And you go back and forth, and you do that a lot at Tyson. Well, you do that a lot with refrigerated freight, period, which is why I don't haul refrigerated freight. But Tyson is notorious for that. You know, so I'm not someone who can just go to sleep. You know, I slept last night, and all of a sudden I'm going to sleep all day today and then run all night tonight. It doesn't work like that for me. If you can do that, Tyson would be a good place for you. My insurance was like $20 a week. I made pretty good money there. I ran pretty good miles. And that rate per mile is not very high. I want to say it's like 43, 44 cents. They don't care how much experience you got. That's what everybody starts at. And then you work your way up with years with Tyson from there. For refrigerated freight, be hauling in at 43, 44 cents is bad. I'm going to tell you the other thing I didn't like about Tyson. Tyson has a lot of outside carriers that are dedicated to hauling their stuff, like KLLM, KB Transport, or KB Transport. There's probably a couple others. When you deliver to a Tyson Foods facility, they do not differentiate their drivers from outside carriers. You wait in line with everybody else. It ain't like Walmart. Walmart takes priority over outside carriers. Not at Tyson. Does not work that way. You never get preferential treatment to outside carriers, and I always thought that was pretty crappy. You know, if I'm an inside carrier and I work for the company, you would think that I'd get preferential treatment. Doesn't work that way, not with Tyson. I don't know how many times I lost the money a couple times where I had to repower my load off to save a load from one of them outside carriers. It was KLLM. One time I can remember in particular. I had some good miles on my load, and there, you don't get a choice. You're going to do what they tell you to do. That's another part of them treating you like a warehouse worker. KLLM was running behind on their load. They only had about 300 miles left on it. So they made me give that KLLM driver my load, and then I ran the 300 miles he had left on his load. You know, so I lost money that day. You see how that goes. A lot of snitches there, man. Whole lot of snitches there, man. Whole bunch of them. You better not step out of your truck without boots on. Don't get out with no slides or flip-flops on. Especially in no plant. They will snitch you out in a heartbeat. Every single time. Some of the plants you can stay the night at. Some of them, I've been some little ones, they didn't have no parking. You wouldn't even get a spot in there anywhere. If your backing is not up to par, don't even try it. Man, you do a whole lot of backing in their yards. I know up in Indiana or Illinois, they got one of their yards that's really tight and it's dark. And every time I went in there, it was the middle of the night. Your backing had better be on point. You will have an accident at Tyson if your backing is not on point. But all in all, out of everywhere I've worked, the most money I made in my pocket at the end of the week, and the best insurance I ever had, was at Tyson Foods. I'd recommend them for those two reasons right there. Their equipment is not the best. Some of their trucks are good, some of them are not. I had an old Mack when I was there, and it was a piece of crap. It wasn't very comfortable at all. Tyson doesn't take comfort into consideration when they buy their trucks, I don't think, at all. I've heard over the years, they've gotten some new trucks in there, and they've gotten a little better, but Tyson's not thinking of you when they buy trucks. I promise you, they're not. But that's pretty much it on Tyson. I mean, they want you to wear a uniform shirt. Most drivers keep one in their passenger seat and they just throw it on when they're at one of their chicken houses. They'll put it on when they walk in and out. It says Tyson on it. You'll get I think 2 or 3 of them when you go through orientation. They will pay you for orientation, so that's a good thing. You'll stay at a hotel there in Arkansas. Um, it's not the best hotel in the world, but it's not the worst. There's a grocery store next door. Um, it's got a little bar, I think, down there, and a little restaurant. I never ate there, so can't tell you how that is. Um, the people at Tyson can be a little unfriendly at times, and depending on what dispatcher you get, they can be a little bit unfriendly as well. It's definitely not a company that's going to kiss your butt in any kind of way, shape, manner, form, or fashion. So, if you like that sort of thing, that ain't the place to go, because you're not going to get any kind of extra on that. Anyway, hope this helps some of you drivers that are thinking about going to Tyson or considering Tyson Foods. Got any questions? Shoot me an email, make a comment. If I got time, I'll get back to you. If you've been in Tyson recently and some things have changed from what I'm stating, I ain't been there in a couple years, comment down there, let these drivers know, and y'all have a great day.